live and an hour and 12 minutes late and still in parking lot number 1 here at Sacramento Natural Foods Co-op, right?
Yes.
But we're waiting. This will sound so medieval.
Well, it's also we only buy Ezekiel bread usually. Usually we buy Ezekiel bread and heat it up in olive oil, and we don't, bread's not. But we're in the mood for this treat bread, and this bakery comes in. It's called Baker and the Cake Maker, and they come in and the bread like flies off the shelves.
The bread flies off the shelf.
It's sourdough. It's sourdough and seeded wheat is the kind we get, and we're usually not here this late. And they said, well, it's going to be in any minute. Of course, that may not be true because it's a bread truck, and aren't they all hippies?
So yes, we're waiting for bread.
We're waiting for the bread.
Yes.
We want to treat bread this week, which we truly don't buy very often. So.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Well. Oh, the horn! Oh.
It's a car alarm. It's an alarm.
They shouldn't do this to old people.
What are you talking about?
The horn.
Oh, I was going to say, who's the old people?
Oh, over there in that other car. Okay, I'm turning it around here. Oh, that. There we go.
I don't want to do this. I have nothing to say.
You don't have anything to say.
Well, I have something to say a little. You're watching, of course, we're watching Democracy Now! Oh, this is ridiculous. With our tea this morning, we watched Democracy Now! And it seems like, I want to sing the song. Makes me want to sing the song, All ye fascists gonna lose.
Oh, you fascists gonna lose.
But it's not looking that optimistic right now. I mean, election-wise, But it seems like both sides, both parties, seem to be ignoring the people and doing lots of things that are trying to separate us, either by immigration or race or ethnicity or sexual orientation or religion or whatever you want to call it. And they're succeeding, and they do it only really truly for money. When you get right down to it, they're doing it for money. And here's when mysticism comes in handy. It comes in handy.
Tell us how mysticism comes in handy. Yes.
For us to start to realize that, I know it's corny to say we're all one, but my brother's blood is my blood. It's more fun it's actually more fun to try to unite yourself with the many.
Yeah.
It makes life better, more colorful, less fearful, more joyful, less to worry about, and you will find that if the governments did that, we could spend more money on everybody instead of spending money on walls and prisons and wars, bombs. If we all would just let up a little and separating each other from each other, gender-wise, genders too.
Yeah, jeez.
Yeah, some stuff we have to just get over it. Now, I'm not even saying, oh God, we're all one species. I don't.
It's more
I don't even care about species.
You're not even caring about species.
Care about species.
You are one with your brother, the ants.
Yes, exactly. So, anyway, that's all my I'm too early to talk message for today. I usually get to think about it sometimes in the car. We're not driving there yet. We're going to Sprouts afterwards.
Yes,
So, and
still
Lon-
parking lot
I'm
number
going to be
one.
quiet mostly while Lon does his show and something. Oh, I may say some things like, Amen. That's right.
That,
Teach on that.
yes,
Teach on that, Brother
teach
Lon.
on that.
We love El Sharpton, so we
Yes.
mock his crowd. Love it. Okay.
Okay, what I'm going to talk about, let's see here. There's our immaculately clean car here. I'm going to turn this around. I did it successfully, dear, without turning it off.
There's hope for the world.
So, just briefly, I'm going to share something with you that was originally published in Equinox Volume 3, which is the Blue Equinox, around 1919. It was published, of all places, Detroit. And it was when Crowley was visiting.
The home of Rashida Tlaib.
That's
Never mind.
and it's important to us in particular because we've been involved in the OTO for now almost 50 years, and when
Our so-called life.
our so-called life, yes. When I first joined the OTO, just a few months afterwards, I was sent a copy, a beautiful Weiser 1972 edition of the Blue Equinox, and Helen Parsons Smith just,
Name dropper.
well, she had a little
I know,
book.
publishing him.
Yes, right.
She published things.
And she was kind enough to send us a box of books with the Equinox of the Gods and what else, a few other things, and this Blue Equinox. And she was thoughtful enough to include an invoice.
She was no fool.
So, as poor as we were, I felt obliged to read those books.
And pay her?
Yeah.
We pay her?
Oh, we always paid Helen.
Really?
When she invoiced us, we
Oh, yeah, because, you would not. I would
sometimes she
not.
sent us invoices that said paid, But anyway, she had to make a living too. But anyway, the Blue Equinox has the OTO foundational documents, sort of Crowley's dream of what a thelemic, quasi-Masonic magical order would be like, complete with
How to behave with others.
how to play well with your other OTO children. But one of the little articles in that Equinox was called "The Message of the Master Therion." Now, he wrote this in around 1919 or thereabouts. He was already hooked up again with the OTO, and he was trying to make the OTO a going concern as far as the propagation of the new law of Thelema. But also other shit was going on in the universe, including the Theosophists' attempt to present a new world teacher, a new master teacher of the world, like a new Buddha, a new whatever. Okay, and there was a scandal going on, and Crowley, because of his recent very dramatic self-initiatory experiences, saw Thelema as sort of the version the new Aeon was sort of the version of the new world.
An evolutionary step from the last.
There you
the
go.
Last order.
And this is, and when people ask you or ask us, what does it mean? What does "do what thou wilt" shall be the whole of the law? Love is the law. Love under will. What does that mean? And people think. Adolescent people immediately think, "Oh, do whatever I want," you know. Crowley, in just like a page and a half here, is the perfect thing to come back with. So this is called Liber 2, Book 2, Message of the Master Therion. And all of the quotes, well, there's quotes directly from the Book of the Law, and then there's Crowley just talking about it, okay? But "do what thou wilt" shall be the whole of the law. There is no law beyond "do what thou wilt." The word of the law is thelema, and that's spelled in Greek. Okay, here's his comment. Thelema means will. The key to this message is the word will. It is the first obvious meaning of this law, and it's confirmed by its antithesis. The word of sin is restriction. Again, quote, "Thou hast no right but to do thy will. Do that, and no other shall say nay. For pure will, unassuaged of purpose, delivered from the lust of result, is every way perfect," unquote. Take this carefully. It seems to imply a theory that if every man and every woman did his and her will, and then he says the true will, and it's spelled with a small t and a small w, and it's not in quotes. We have to point out that the phrase "true will" does not appear in the Book of the Law, but it appears here.
And Crowley was thinking about what that meant.
And he was thinking about what that meant and wants you to think about what that means too. So, I'll read that again. Take this carefully. It seems to imply a theory that if every man and every woman did his and her will, the true will, there would be no clashing. Quote, "Every man and every woman is a star," unquote. And each star moves in an appointed path without interference. There's plenty of room for all. It is only disorder that creates confusion.
We must have order. I say that all the time.
Constance, that's her
House cleaning motto.
we must have order.
Never mind.
And she's convinced that's the Ordo in Ordo Templi Orientis. I have to digress for a second. For many years, Constance and I were needed, actually, to go to different parts of the country and different parts of the world and do initiation ceremonies for the...
Now we're just useless blobs of flesh.
We're just, yes, we're husks.
But I am not a spent force.
We're husks, but you are not a spent force. But anyway... And they would always tell us that they had, we have everything ready for you.
You told the story last week.
Yeah, we probably told. And Constance sweeps in like a...
Oh, I'm just like, Mom, come on. Don't make it a big deal. Everybody does this.
But everyone is terrified of her and does exactly what she says. Move this furniture out of there. Said, get this couch out of there.
They weren't terrified. They just knew sometimes Mom is right. That's all. They weren't terrified.
And she does not. Well, anyway.
So he's talking about order,
Yes. So
not about me.
where was I when
Order.
Order. Let's see.
The word was order. We must have order.
Let's see. There's plenty of room for all. It is only disorder that creates confusion. From these considerations, it should be clear that do what thou wilt does not. Well, that has never happened to me before. My phone literally got too hot. It was sort of sitting on my dash like it always does, and it's not a hot day, but it was kind of in the sun. I don't know if we've returned to our original thing here. Constance has gone into the store to try to see if the bread has arrived, and so I waited a little while, and my phone came back on and said, "Do you want to resume your video?" And I said yes. So I'm not sure that I'm broadcasting even. But anyway, I'm going to just finish this because it's a very, very little short thing. The message of the Master Therion. I know some of you were probably concerned that my pager exploded like all of those pagers in Lebanon that exploded simultaneously. But I digress. From these considerations, it's an odd day, isn't it? From these considerations, it should be clear that do what thou wilt does not mean do what you like. It is the apotheosis of freedom, but it is also the strictest possible bond. Do what thou wilt, then do nothing else. Let nothing deflect thee from that austere and holy task. Liberty is absolute to do thy will, but seek to do any other thing whatsoever, and instantly obstacles must arise. Every act that is not in definite course of that one orbit is erratic, a hindrance. Will must not be two, but one. Note further that this will is not only to be pure, that is, single, as explained above, but also, quote, unassuaged of purpose. This strange phrase must give us pause. It may mean that any purpose in the will.
I'm taking your phone in the store. It's not there yet. He said, well, we're expecting him soon.
I'm broadcasting right now.
I didn't know that, honey.
Oh, okay.
How would I know that?
Well, don't knock it over.
This? Can I move this?
Yeah, you can move that. And the bread hasn't come. Oh.
Well, I'll go check this.
Breadless Tuesdays.
There, we have Ezekiel bread at home.
Well,
I apologize for interrupting.
I'm glad you're back, but boy, was I on a roll.
I will not say another word, I promise, and I won't interrupt you like previously.
There must have been hundreds of people just on the verge of samadhi, just waiting for one more word from me.
Well, they'll teach me.
Here, I'm
Don't
gonna.
No, you're not.
I'm gonna say, there you are.
I can't see myself.
You should.
There's nothing on that screen. Your hand is on the screen.
Isn't she lovely? Okay. God, this is a hard one today, I tell you. Okay.
Such obstacles. Oh, I'm not going to talk.
Oh, no, talk.
No.
Talk
You're on
away.
the verge of samadhi.
There's
I'm
only-
not going to talk to you.
There's only one thing better than my digressions is your interruptions.
Wow.
That should be our
feel
vaudeville name.
Digressions.
And here there are digression and interruptions. Okay. Lust of result.
Have you got lust of result for this show?
It may mean that any purpose in the will would damp it, clearly. So any purpose delivered for true will.
I don't know.
Okay.
Maybe.
Well, he's speculating here. He's speculating here. Could mean this. Okay. It may mean that any purpose in the will would damp it. Clearly, the, quote, lust of result, unquote, is a thing from which it must be delivered.
That's not
But
purpose.
the phrase may also be interpreted as if the card read, quote, with purpose unassuaged. In other words, with tireless energy.
Oh, I am indefatigable.
That's your. Tell us your new motto again.
Oh no, I was
Constance.
My yesterday's cleaning house. I kept going around while I was scrubbing the floors and stuff. I am indefatigable.
There, she sure is.
No, I'm tired today.
I know. And we have no bread. The conception is, therefore, of an eternal motion, infinite and unalterable. It is nirvana, only dynamic instead of static. And this comes to the same thing in the end, okay? So,
Okay.
but, and your observation is, Miss Indefatigable?
What? It also may mean the classic Christian thing like, seek and you shall find, ask and you shall receive. Just, if you do your will, don't give specific ways that the universe or the source has to deliver it to you.
Yeah.
And what it's going to be, what the results are going to be. Forget about what the results are. If you're doing your will, you should be relaxed and say, I'm doing this, and I have a purpose in doing this, but how this purpose is achieved or in what form is none of my business.
It's none of your goddamn business.
That's the workings of the universe.
Right.
And if I spent my time doing that, I'd be, digging, wasting my time.
Right. Good.
But anyway.
Agreed.
Begin.
I agree. Begin. The obvious practical task of the magician is then to discover what his will really is, so that he may do it in this manner. And he can best accomplish this by the practice, and then he gives of Liber the Sharb, which is sort of a thinking backwards and going back through incarnations and memories that try to give you a hint of the trajectory of your cosmic life.
Why do I like to do this? Or why do I like the taste of this? Or
Yeah, right.
Why do I like this person? Or why like little kids?
This can best be accomplished by the practices of Liber the Sharb, or others such as may from one time to another be appointed. Okay, here it comes. Thou must, 1, find out what is thy will. 2, do that will with one-pointedness, with detachment, and with peace. Then, and only then, art thou in harmony with the movement of things. Thy will part of, and therefore equal to, the will of God. And since
Well, he actually says the G-O-D word.
he says, and he capitalizes it too, and will.
My goodness.
So thy will, part of and therefore equal to the will of God. And since the will is but the dynamic aspect of the self, and since no two different selves could not possess identical wills, then if thy will be God's will, thou art that.
Not only that, it's already accomplished, because if it's God's will is already accomplished, and so is yours. Just do it and flow with it.
Do it, flow with it. There is but one other word to explain. Elsewhere it is written, surely for our great comfort.
No, I didn't think surely for my great comfort.
Love is the law. Love under will. This is to be taken as meaning while will is the law, both capitalized, the nature of that will is love. But this love is, as it were, a byproduct of that will. It does not contradict or supersede that will. And if apparent contradiction should arise in any crisis, it is the will that will guide us aright. Lo, while in the book of the law there is much of love, there is no word of sentimentality. Hate itself is almost like love. Quote, as brothers fight ye, unquote. All the manly races of the world understand this. Yeah.
Oh, really? I think on Bonanza, the brothers fought together on the same side.
That's right. They argued a little bit, but Hoss was always on.
That's my as brothers fight. Never mind, I don't interpret the book of the law for other people. I just remember the Bonanza opening.
There is delicacy, but there is the delicacy of strength, mighty and terrible and glorious as it is. However, it is but the pinion upon the sacred lance of will. That's that flag that's on the knight's lance. The Damascened inscription upon the swords of the knight monks of Thelema. Love is the law, love under will. That is the message of the Master Therion, which was probably so important for you to hear that every demon of hell tried to prevent you from hearing this today. So, I'm going to turn it back to you for a second. Do you have anything further to add, my darling? Right answer. Okay.
Yeah, right answer.
Okay. Well, do you want to say goodbye?
No, I'll just say see you later.
Okay. This has been you've been on an adventure with us today, haven't you? Until tomorrow, continue to be good to yourself, be good to each other. Do what thou wilt, shall be the whole of the law.
Love is the law. Love under will.
See you tomorrow.